Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching or listening to this from, whether you're live or on your replay. Yeah, just as important. My name is AyoT, and this is the Niger FC podcast. As always, I have with me my co-host.
Smith Layi. Thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Another Tuesday, another show, another chance for us to talk about all the latest happenings in the world of Nigerian football, from reviewing performances of different players, talking about the national teams. We're going to give you all our thoughts, and we hope you guys enjoy. And of course, please engage with us throughout the program, as we always like to hear from you and hear what you guys have to say on the different topics that we are discussing as well. Um, so yes, we'll kick things off with a review of the weekend. Always like to do that to just highlight the different Nigerian players that may have performed well over the weekend. It's I know that for the average fan, it's hard to keep up with over 400 different players. So
Hmm.
we try to do the job of um, curating the information and giving you guys what you need to see or what you should see. So yes, as far as different players have performed well, as always, I'll start position by position. Goalkeepers, Adebayo Adeleye, decent performance, making two saves for Enosis. We also had Matt Okoye with an average performance for Udinese. Nothing too much to talk about in the goalkeeping department. Um, Joseph Olowu, defenders now. Olowu kept a clean sheet, made three tackles, six clearances, 111 doors for Doncaster Rovers in England. Franklin Tebo made seven clearances, won four doors for Salzburg. Chibuike Nwaiwu kept a clean sheet, made three tackles, five interceptions, five clearances, won six doors for Wolfsberger AC in Austria. Onyinyechi Zog, Super Falcons player, one tackle, two interceptions, four clearances for Perth Glory in Australia. Sadiq Rashid scored a goal for Rabotnik. Igor Ogbu kept a clean sheet, had a good game for Slavia Praha. Gabriel Osh kept a clean sheet and had a good game for Auxerre. Nathan Teller, one assist off the bench for Bayer Leverkusen. Hamdi Akujobi with two tackles, two chances created from right back for Almer City FC in the Eredivisie. Moving on to the midfielders, Izichukwu Anthony was on target for FC Van. Ibrahim Olawonyi created two chances, won 10 goals for Rizespor in Turkey. Rafael Onyedika scored a goal, created a chance for Club Brugge. Peter Etebo with one tackle, four goals, one for Club Beligi. We had Hamzat Ojediron with two tackles, six goals, one chance created for Lens. Hogan Uba was on target for Struga. Innocent Bonke had a good game with five goals, one, three tackles, three clearances for Adana Spur. Jamil Musbaudin had a good game with four draws, one, and a chance created for Colding IF. And then Anthony Dennis, 11 goals, one, four dribbles, three tackles, Gostepe. And then Jennifer Echegini with two goals and one assist for PSG Feminine. And then to the forwards, Sadiq Awujola scored two goals for Pyramids FC in Egypt. Xavier Godwin got an assist, completed five dribbles for Al Obdud in Saudi. Babajide Akintola got two assists while completing three dribbles for Rizespor. Christian Nwachuku was on target for Botev Plovdiv. Ridwan Sanusi was on target for Podrezova. Abdemola Lukman was on target for Atalanta. Rinsola Babajide was on target for Tenerife against Barcelona. Tosin Kehinde assisted a goal for Ferencvaros. Emeka Namani got an assist. Chinonso Ofo got an assist. Samson Iede got one goal and one assist for Voxla. Ifoma Onumonu got a goal for Montpellier. She's in form. Josh Maja got a goal for West Brom. Tolaru Kudare got a goal for Genk. Edna Imade got a goal for Granada. Ifedayo Olusegun got a goal for PDRM FC. Funsho Bangboye, good performance, two chances created for Hatayspor. Fred Onyedima scored a goal and won a penalty for Wycombe Wanderers. And then Alex Iwobi scored a goal, a stunner for Fulham. Unfortunately, they fell to a heavy defeat in that one. So yes, that's the roundup of the different Nigerian players. So many different players in action, so many games that we tracked and followed over the weekend. But those are the players that you say probably performed the best and are worthy of highlighting. Smith Layi,
Yeah.
let's get into conversation about some of these players and their performances over the weekend. I want to start by asking about the female players, we'll get into the male players, and then we'll move on from there. So first of all, there's this girl, Edna Imade.
Mm-hmm.
She's never been part of the national team setup, and she's just jejely been doing her thing in the Spanish Liga F so far this season. Now she's a young player, she's a good player, strong player, she's a striker, she scores goals, she's the third highest goal scorer in the league so far this season. And she has interest in representing Nigeria. This
Mm-hmm.
one I know that she has interest in representing Nigeria. Is this someone that we should really be looking into? I know that we have a bunch of different forwards, but she's playing in a top league, not even one of the best teams in the league, and she seems to be performing well. Should we really be looking into how? What do you think?
So for me, I think she's anywhere we can get talent that are good enough to represent Nigeria. I think we should not shy away from actually what approaching that talent. Since you confirmed that she's interested in playing for Nigeria now, it's a good thing. When you can actually what associate yourself with your culture, with you recognize that you can play for different national team, and you are not like trying to lean on one than the other. For me, I think she's a very good player. And I think that it's a matter of time before she moves to a big club. She's doing very well now. Before you know it, maybe Atletico Madrid, maybe I don't think Barca is at the level now. Maybe probably Real Madrid any of those, or maybe even get there's a team that normally perform very well. Is it Levante? Levante used to perform very well too. So I just think that she's someone that we can actually get. We complain about we don't have players scoring goals for Nigeria. She can be the one to take over from Ojuala.
Mm.
Who knows? Who knows? That's it.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But so far so good. I hope she continues performing like this. I've been slightly keeping an eye on her over the past few weeks. And with the tally that she has now, I just said, okay, it's about time I highlighted her, and let's see, if she's part of the team in the future. Okay, another player that I wanted us to talk about very quickly is a Super Falcons player that fortunately or unfortunately for us, scored the only goal for us at the Olympics games. I'm talking about Jennifer Onimie Echegini. Jennifer Echegini, of course, made the move from Juventus to PSG Feminine in France after she lit it up, in only half a season in Italy, and things did not quite, get off to the start that she wanted with PSG in terms of just the output, goals, and assists. No hitting nowhere the kind of numbers that she was at Juventus. But so far this weekend, she finally got off the mark, scoring 2 goals, assisting one in PSG's big win. Smith Layi, what are your thoughts on this? And how do you think she can keep it going now that she has finally got her first 2 goals?
We should not because sometimes too when you perform well like this, because she did well so well in Juventus. A lot of people have been saying that, oh, come on, she's professional. But a lot of people don't forget that she just, that was probably her first club, Juventus. So, in my own opinion, I think that her talent is never in doubt. It's just when she's just for her to get settled and for her to start performing. When a lot of people say that, oh, but she's not doing well. I remember a lot of people criticize her in that playoff game against Juventus, when they were playing the Champions League, the Women's Champions League. They didn't, it was quite unfortunate that the team she left was the team that took them out of the Women's European Women's Champions League. So a lot of people criticize her that she didn't do well in those games and everything. But now that she's performing well, I'm pleased, and I hope that she will just continue. One thing, she's one of my favorite player in the Falcons. One of my favorite player in the Falcons. Very good ball carrier. She's someone that can make things happen. So for me, her talent is never in any doubt. I think that she should continue to do well. That's my opinion.
Well said, well said. And I think I'll definitely agree with you that her talent is never in doubt. She's somebody that even when you just watch her play, there's some players that you just watch them take a few touches of the ball, and you're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, this person can play. This person has it, a dead body. She's one of
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of players. You can just tell that she's very good on the
Mm-hmm.
ball. Her
Mm-hmm.
left foot is a wand. And if you haven't seen it, go watch the highlights of the game. The second goal that she scored, very, very good goal. Nice touches. Those little deft touches in the box. And
Mm-hmm.
then finishing well past the goalkeeper. I thought it was a good display from her,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully she can keep it going like this. I want to see her shining. I think she's somebody that can potentially be, a should I say a key player for the Super Falcons, for the next 8-10 years.
Yeah.
So I really want to see her doing well for PSG, and of course, hopefully other players can keep on doing well as well, so that it's not just
Mm-hmm.
a handful of players performing well. But shout out to Jennifer Echegini for that one. She was also the Eagle Striker Star of the Week with
Yeah.
that impressive display for PSG. Okay, over to the men. Over to the men very, very quickly. Let's talk about a player that we've spoken about almost every week on this show. But he finally got off the mark in the league. I'm talking about Fisayo Dele Bashiro. First goal in Italian Serie A. After coming off the bench, the coach finally said, "Okay, I'll give you some minutes. Oh, yeah, just take. Let me see what you can do." And he was able to score his first goal. I mean, it was a very, very anyhow type of goal, sketchy one off the rebound. Everybody was a bit confused about what was going on. Decided just,
Penalty. No.
yeah, he just went and kicked it in. But as long as it goes in, it's a goal, it's a feather, to his cap. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it can encourage the coach to give him some more minutes.
Yeah.
But yes, like, how did you feel about this one?
Honestly, it has been like a mixed bag, mixed performance for him since he actually was joined. He's getting more minutes in the Europa League than the league. So, and if you can see the relief in his face, in his expression when he actually when he scored that goal. And you can see some of his close allies too, they went to him straight away, they jump on him when he scored that goal. He was lucky to score that goal because if it was a penalty, I think that he would not be the one to take that penalty. So
Yeah.
I think he saw that opportunity and just and score it before referee played advantage, and before you know it, the ball actually was the net actually was budge. So for me, I am happy for him. He's a guy that that he will do well. You know that he will do well, and he's a very good professional. That is one thing I like about him. So you cannot hear him. He's just waiting for his time to actually to do well. So I'm happy. A lot of people would know that I really actually would like Fitadele Bachiru. I think it's one of the feature of Super Eagles midfield. A lot of people don't know that he's still a young guy. He's still on that. He's still at 24. So I don't know if he's 24 or 23. I don't know. Very, very young player. So I think that he's a guy that we can rely on. And just like Jennifer Echegini, I think his talent too was never in doubt. But I know that in the second half of the season, he will be getting more game time. And Lazio too, they're also competing for the league. Oh. Don't forget that.
The Italian Serie A is very tight this
Very
season,
tight, yeah.
so it's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. They are
Mhm.
competing for the league and they are currently top of the Europa League.
Yes.
So who knows? Who knows? Could be an interesting season. And yeah, he's 23 years old. So young player that
Mm-hmm.
we'll be watching for a long time to come. In the future, shout out to Sayadele Bashir. And I'll say, let me speak it into existence. I want to do an interview with him. I'll work towards that one to see if we can get him on the home of Nigerian football podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about his journey, talk about all these things that have been happening in his football career.
Yeah.
It will be an interesting conversation, but good player, good player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move forward. This one won't spend too much time on this, but I thought, okay, you know what? I'll take it. Let me take another one before I get to it. This is a player that, again, we won't spend too much time talking about this, but I just think it's worthy of a mention. Um, I'm talking about a young player that is knocking on the door of the Super Eagles, Tolu Arokodare, on target yet again for KRC Genk over the weekend. I believe he has now hit 9 goals this season. We've spoken about him in the past. I have said it that I don't think he's quite, you know, I won't say, maybe I shouldn't say he's not ready. I'll say I don't think he can get a call up yet because of the other options that we have spread across, the talents that we have in the forward options and the striker options. I don't think he brings in something that we don't already have. But the one thing that I did ask for when I said all of these things. I asked for him to keep it consistent, to keep
Mm-hmm.
scoring, and then when the new year comes, when we get closer to March, we will see where things are, and we'll see what his run is like and whether or not he can come in. And what I like is the fact that he has kept it consistent. He has kept scoring. Yes, we're only in November, or we're already towards the end of November, but he has kept scoring. Before we know it, we might be in February looking forward to the March World qualifiers, and who knows how many goals he might have by then. So I just wanted to shout him out. The fact that people look at the league that he's playing in and maybe use that as a knock to him. I saw an interview that they said they credited the words to him saying that because he plays in Belgium, he knows that he needs to do times two of what other people are doing, and that may be true, but I want him to just keep on working, and at the end of the day, you cannot hide a star, So if he keeps performing like this, the world will see it. Those of us that don't think that he should be there yet, we will have to fall in line if he continues like this. But I wanted to give him a shout out. Tola Rukudari, congrats on your performance so far this season, and another goal to celebrate your birthday over the weekend. But yeah, Smith, like your thoughts on Rukudari?
Yeah, don't like we discussed him previously that he's scoring goals, but he also need to continue to score goals, and he's doing the same thing too. I think that Gent seems to be like a very good place for Nigerian players. As you did that one a few seasons ago, it was like top scorer, and Tolu is now, I think if not the top scorer now currently, he's actually what among the top three top scorers in the Belgium league. So I'm really actually happy for him. It's a guy that I followed from Latvia, when he went to Germany, but now he's now more settled now. Former Nigerian 17 international. So I think that he will actually what he will do. Well. He will get his chance to play, but you know, Desas is still there. You never know. So because I know that Desas also did well, in the Dutch league, before actually moving. So I think that Tolu will get his chance to actually play for Nigeria, and I think that he needs to just continue to actually to do well.
Yeah, yeah. He needs to just continue doing well. Second top scorer in the Belgian Pro League
Yeah,
so far this season.
yeah.
And let's see what happens. They're top of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Could be an interesting year for him. Could be an interesting year for him. And maybe even if he doesn't get his call yet, maybe if he gets a move in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
he can get a call up after that.
Yeah.
But shout out to him. Okay, okay. Now let us take the final few players. I'm going to wrap up with the English Premier League. So let's talk about this one because it's a player that a lot of Nigerian players have criticized. Hasn't got too much game time in this season so far, but surprisingly, he was given a start over the weekend in an important match against Liverpool. I'm talking about Paul Onuachu, and unfortunately, he went off with an injury. But in the time that he was on, he made his presence felt. He made his presence felt. The guy came with a ginger. He was trying to look like prime Messi, dribbling past players, playing no look passes. Just enjoying himself and showing himself to the world.
Yeah.
I was so sad when he got injured because I'm like, how can the game that he's playing well against Liverpool and everybody's watching, if he had managed to somehow score a goal in that match, I would have almost torn my shirt. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to just say shout out to Paul Onuachu, man. Southampton, I've given up on Southampton. I've said it's I lost cause they are going down. I knew even when they were leading, I knew they were going to lose that game because they are Southampton. But I'm happy for Paul Onuachu in terms of just getting the game time. I don't know if it's a serious injury. Hopefully not. Maybe the coach has seen enough to give him more minutes. Aribo came on as well in that game. But yes, what did you think about Onuachu showing against Liverpool?
No, I was like, I was, his first touch, in that game, I was like, this guy seems to be in for it today, and I was a step over, against the Liverpool right back, and he threw a look, no look back. He was like, it was just doing everything. He was chasing the ball, I was like, oh my God, where is this guy? And the issue is this, even in Southampton fans too, they went on Twitter, was like, how is this guy on the bench? How is this? I'm happy that actually was his doing. And you are a very big fan of him too. When he was in Belgium, he told us that there's more to his game than just to score.
I've been telling people that this boy can play ball. I know. Say is a 6'7" guy. You look
Uh-huh.
at him, you say he should go and play basketball, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's no Chidera Ejuke.
Yeah,
It's not that kind of player, but
yeah,
he has it. He has it on his legs more.
yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm happy that at least he was able to show a little bit, one or two.
Yeah, yeah, he actually did well in that game. And according to reports from England too, it's not really a serious injury, so it might probably won't be ready for the weekend. So let's wait and see. But for me, I was really happy for someone that has been like, one leg out of Southampton last summer,
Mm,
and is now someone that is now the beautiful bride,
mm.
in among them. So it's really really interesting.
Oh, yeah, that was an interesting one. And then finally to wrap up on the weekend review, let's talk about Alex Iwobi, Alex Big 17. Iwobi, has been having a good season so far for Fulham in the English Premier League. And over this past weekend, he scored his third goal of the season. A stunner, a left-footed strike, fantastic goal. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Um, Unfortunately, they fell to a heavy defeat in that one, but I thought it was impressive. I thought we have to just acknowledge Alex Iwobi. The goal, um, maybe the best Nigerian goal of the month. I have to really think about the other goals that I've seen. But you know, shout out to Iwobi for that one. Smith, like, what did you think of the goal,
So
Iwobi?
I was, it's not even the goal that really surprised me. It was Kevin Bassey's response to that goal when the ball, yes, now he just put his hand in his head, like when the ball actually was next to the back of the net. I was like, Kevin Bassey was like, Alex, we didn't discuss it like this now. How did you do it? I'm the one using left now. Eh? How did you take it? And it was a very good goal. And that's to tell you that Alex Iwobi is just that I don't know what is happening currently, with our national team. If Senegal everyone Cerezo himself is and so was watching Alex Iwobi in Everton, you know that we don't get solution for the right wing. It's not about experimenting. This guy plays in that position in this club and is performing brilliantly as well. So I'm really pleased with Alex Iwobi, and I know that he's having one of his best season in his career with Fulham, and also doing well too outside the pitch. That's it. So I'm really
Oh,
really impressed. Yeah.
all right, all right. And that wraps up our weekend review. Lots of Nigerian players in action, lots of Nigerian players performing well. And shout out to our star of the week, Jennifer Echegini.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to
Go
like
on.
when mention one player, and actually says so. You'll be following him for a long time. I think it's Sadiq Awudola of Pyramid FC. In Egypt. A very fantastic player. I was so impressed with his rise. He got that move to Pyramid from his club. I think I forgot the club's name now.
Ceramica.
Ceramica, yeah, fantastic, player, and I think that pyramid might probably be a stepping point, is a stepping stone because I just think that it's going to be someone that we have to watch out for in years to come because if you look at the way he plays, when you followed him, I went to check some of his clips too, and I realized that come on, the way he plays and pretty sure was very impressed with him. He just need to keep working hard to and get himself to Europe as soon as possible. I think that is a guy that we might probably actually watch out for in the years to come.
Mm.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, all right, all right. Thank you very, very much.
Mhm.
Okay, let us move forward now. Let us talk about the NPFL, the Nigerian Professional Football League. Another weekend of action, match week 13. Here are the results on the table, of course. El Kanemi Warriors 1-0 victors over Aqua United. Niger Tornadoes with a goalless draw against Security City. Bendel Insurance 3-1 win versus Kwara United. Heartland with a goalless draw against Enugu Rangers. Aimba postponed match against Sunshine Stars. Lobby Stars 2-2 against Canopilas. Plateau United 2-0 winners over Nasarawa United. Katina United 2-0 victors over Remo Stars. Rivers United with a 1-0 win against Abia Warriors, and then Shooting Stars with a 1-0 victory over Bayosa United. That means that Rivers United stay top of the NPFL with 25 points after 13 games played, and then Nasarawa United are bottom of the league with only 12 points after 13 games. Ikorodu City, who were once the strugglers of the league, have managed to find their way up the table, looking pretty in seventh now. And yeah, Remo Stars still hanging about in second place. Smith the
Yeah.
NPFL, 13 weeks in,
Hmm.
Rivers United above the table. How are you feeling about the season so far?
MPFL will be MPFL. The difference between even Ikorodu City and that started very badly, and Rivers United is actually what 7 points. So to tell you, how close MPFL this year's MPFL is, and Rivers United won their first game in five, and they are still top of the league. It's just it's don't know. It's just like a dilly dally. It's like God's going up and down. For me, it's been a season that we can see that ex international they're back in the league, trying to actually prove themselves. We spoke about this thing before about Atlanta of Owerri when they didn't do well, under Amuneke, but now they're back. They're back doing well. You can see Atlanta currently 11th position. They're unbeaten in what? In 5 games. To tell you that Amuneke is doing something very good. I like that. I like that. And also, too, I don't know what is wrong with Lobby Stars. Amokachi is their technical director and also went to employ a foreign coach, but, and they are languishing in the 17th position in the league. So that's another thing too that I spot. But no, overall, has been very good. Has been very good. Brendan Jonas might probably go on relegation because their coach just resigned. Monday Odige about 2 or 3 days ago. I think he went. He left the job without even tendering his resignation initially, but he now tenders his resignation now, and it's actually what he's out of what's it called? He's not in the job any longer. Nasarawa got promoted. It's like they're going back to where they came from, but looking at what is happening, they used to produce very good players. I don't know what is currently actually what happening to them now. For me, you can see Ahmed Musa's effect on Kano players too. They are currently sixth, and they are actually what 6 points from the top of the table. So it's a season that let's just wait. Let's just wait. And another thing I want to mention is Economic Warriors of Maiduguri. They are newly promoted side, coached by Ali Zuberu, the current coach of the under 20 team. They have been playing the best football, I can tell you, in this MPFL this season. But let's look at how they can actually keep it up. They've only lost one game, the least amount of games out of all the team in the league. So not bad, not bad. But let's see, what's gonna happen. That's it.
All right, all right. And for our audience, please let us know in the comments, where does your team stand so far in the NPFL season? Are you
Yeah.
looking like championship contenders, or are you looking like relegation
Yes,
strugglers? Let
progress. Yes.
us know where your team stands so far this season. And yes, one more thing to talk about from the NPFL. Legend of the NPFL, Rabiu Ali, scored his eighth goal of the season, and incredibly, it's his fourth goal from a direct free kick. Now, the video of the free kick has been making its rounds. Different people have been commenting on it. So I want to show you, and then let's talk about it. Let's hear your thoughts on that free kick goal that he scored. Here it is. Okay. So yeah, that's the goal. From about, I don't know how many yards that is, but that looks like 40 yards or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Long
I can
range strike.
I can see the halfway line there, but the keeper did
Yeah.
not really cover himself in glory too.
Yeah. So let's talk about this, like, because obviously people have been saying, "Wow, at 44 for him to still be doing it, good strike, blah blah." But then, of course, we can see that obviously the goalkeeper
Mhm.
should have done better there. Now,
Mhm.
would you say we should still give him credit for being able to hit it with power on target from that distance, or is it absolutely just a goalkeeping gaff? What do you think?
I think it's more of a goalkeeping error than a fantastic free kick. It was straight down the middle, and the goalkeeper just maybe was thinking about maybe was looking at Musa, and he already starts talking. He just allowed the ball to actually
Mm,
to fly past him. For me, I think it's more of a goalkeeping mistake, but it's not to take away from Rabiu Ali. This is a fantastic professional himself, 44 years of age, and he's still he's still looking as if he's 22. People are
mm,
saying, go and shave this thing now and go and play on 20. So for me, I think he's a very good player, but that free kick it's more about goalkeeping mistake than a fantastic free kick. You know,
mm, mm,
and if you know, for me, the best free kick this season was called by Anas Yusuf, the top scorer of the tournament. It's Anas Yusuf against Ikorodu FC. He was a very good free kick. So for me, I think Rabiu Ali did well, but that free kick was more of like a goalkeeping mistake.
mm. And I mean, I have to say, it was definitely a goalkeeping mistake. The Lobby Stars goalkeeper didn't cover himself in any glory there. Joseph Oya, just
Mm-hmm.
in case we see him on Super Eagles list in the future. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something that the goalkeeper should have just tapped it down and then carried the ball and say, "Yeah, let's go on counter."
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, if somebody scores 4 free kicks in one season, it's still an
Yeah.
impressive start.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just wanted to point that out because I know that I've been seeing people talking about it across the socials. Okay, moving forward, let's talk about one potential or one transfer story. Smith Layi, I don't have brought this one. He said we should talk about it. This is a player that I've highlighted previously on the podcast in the past. I've told you guys to watch out for him, and it seems like things might be bubbling up quickly already. I'm talking about 18-year-old defender Vince Osuji. Vince
Yes.
Osuji, of course, is a player for Kalmar FF in Sweden, and this guy has been doing really well this season. Really good performances, and at only 18, he has already impressed some top clubs around Europe. Spidlai, what do you have for us? What's the latest on the transfer reports and rumors around Vince Osuji?
Yeah, it's a player that you brought to our attention, and kudos to platforms like Eagle Striker. All these players would not have gotten that attention, from Nigerian fans. If not because of people like you trying to actually promote them. So it's a guy that Nigeria did not really know him. He played on 17, but they didn't qualify in that year's on 17. So he's been doing well, like you said, in Sweden and Strasbourg. The French League One sent in a bid of 3 million euros to Kalmar. Kalmar is already, relegated Swedish club, so they sent in a bid of 3 million euros to Kalmar, but Kalmar rejected it. They wanted actually what 5 million euros. So there have also been bids from Anderlecht, and I'm also hearing that there's also been Chelsea. Chelsea also make an inquiry about him to see exactly, maybe they can actually tempt him to Stamford Bridge. So there have been like serious offers on the table. He said two clubs. So Strasbourg and maybe probably I think OGC needs also either of the two sent in a bid, but it was below the £5 million, 5 million euros actually what evaluation of him. So I think that that is what is actually what holding him back now. But what we can tell you and what you have predicted even before is that his days in the Swedish league are actually what numbered.
Mm, mm.
Yes.
As I read a report that there's also some interest from the MLS, FC Cincinnati, FC
Uh,
Dallas. And is there any truth to those reports?
yeah, I think there's also truth in that report, but those that have sent official bids actually what Strasbourg and I think OGC
Mm,
sent official bids to him. So I think they should just if Strasbourg will come 4 million euros, I think that would have been it's going to be very good for his education. At least going to the French league, learning few things before making that big move. He's a guy that will do well for Nigeria. I just hope that the under 20 coach, if he's available, can call him up for the next under 20 AFCON if the club releases him too.
mm, mm.
Yes.
All right, so let's see what the future holds for Vince Osuji, young centre back. One to watch for sure, for sure. Okay, let's transition over now to the national teams. Let's talk about the Super Eagles very briefly, and then we'll go to the Super Falcons as well. So Smith, like you always have this inside information for us. You always know what the NFF have going on, who they are talking to, who they are not talking to, which report is true, which report is not true. But now, for maybe the umpteenth time, because I'm pretty sure I've heard his name in this story so many times in the past, we are hearing once again that Sergio Conceição is interested in taking over as the new Super Eagles head coach. Of course, the Super Eagles are with the interim head coach Austin Eguavon.
Yeah.
You
I
know, and
think I think it's not this Concesao. It's the poor man's Concesao. Because this one is the big box Concesao. It's the poor man's Concesao. Where do you want to see the money for this one? It's the poor man's Concesao. The former coach of Cameroon, it was a champion in for Cluj FC in what's it called in Romania. Before actually was to Cameroon, and they won bronze medal during the AFCON in 2021, 2022. So the guy has been talking to his agents have been talking to what's it called? He's talking to some officials of Nigerian for the NFF too. That this guy is ready to take over the job. And he said something that let me just try and like quote him according to Ongo, because I know that his agents have been very active around Nigerian media too. So let me just try and quote him directly here. So that if I'm not confident that they can beat all comers to the World Cup ticket, I won't bother to share my interest in that job. The
mm,
Super Eagles is currently better than all the teams in their group. And with the style I intend to have them play, if I get the job, you can be rest assured that it will be entertaining with result as well. So that's actually what I'm just trying to quote him directly now from what he actually what said. He said that when you look at Nigerian team, their photos are very good players, particularly in the attack. So and a system that will bring out the best in them. So is that I know I can bring and make them the best in Africa. He concluded. So it was just trying to tell that if he's not sure that Nigeria will beat all comers, that's why do you think he's going to show interest in the job? And one of the things I'd like to say basically is this: if the NFF want to consider a coach for the national team, you tell the coach, what do you want to offer us? How do you want to do it? And they should also reference, try and check his previous games too to see maybe he's a guy that can actually work, can lead us forward. For me, when you see a coach saying that, okay, don't worry, this World Cup ticket, I can actually get it. Why can't you give him a chance if he's really actually sure of what he's talking about? Also, when Jose Pacero was actually appointed as the coach of the national team, he said that Nigeria will be champions of Africa. Though we didn't win the AFCON, but we played in the finals of that AFCON. So everything is about what? It's about confidence. It's not about for you to start talking about maybe if you lose now, what will happen? Because I'm hearing reports too in the Nigerian media that Victor Ipeba thinks that Austin Eguavon will be made a scapegoat if Nigeria did not qualify for the World Cup. Why are you thinking about Stephen not qualify for that World Cup? Why are you thinking about that one now? If we win 5 out of 6 of our games, we qualify for the World Cup. I can tell you that. So we should just be serious with what we are doing. Don't bring a coach that cannot win all the 6 games. He must be able to plan to win all the 6 games. We can't just say that we're going to lie down and get rolled over. How can Benin Republic and Rwanda be going toe to toe with Nigeria? In Rwanda going toe to toe with Nigeria in Uyo, and succumbing to Rwanda's firepower. So for me, I just think that when the NFF is trying to employ a coach, they should make sure that the coach too, that their employee is a coach that have that winning mentality and can also win for Nigeria.
mm, mm. All right, all right. And yes, thank you for that correction. The poor man's conscience. Finished third with Cameroon at the AFCON in 2021. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I'm tired of talking about all these NFF and this Super Eagles coaching thing, Joe. Thank
Yeah,
God we don't have to watch them for a little while, so they cannot disappoint us. But at least
yes.
in the office, let's see if they can get things. Let's see if they can get things done
So
right.
yeah,
Over the
yes.
next few weeks. Okay, let's move over very quickly to the Super Falcons of Nigeria, of course, the women's senior national team.
Mm-hmm.
The draws for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations were held this past week, and we know who our group stage opponents are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
In Group B, we have Nigeria, Tunisia, Algeria, and Botswana. Making up the rest of the groups. In Group A, we have Morocco, Zambia, Senegal, and DR Congo. And then in Group C, we have South Africa, Ghana, Mali, and Tanzania. The Super Falcons taking on familiar opponents Botswana, who they faced at the last WAFCON, Algeria, who they just faced, in recent friendlies, and then Tunisia as well. So, Smith, like, when you look at the draws for this WAFCON that is supposed to be taking place this year, but is now going to be holding in the summer of 2025, Tunisia, Algeria, Botswana, do you think they pose any threat, or is this straightforward group for the Super Falcons?
I think it's all three should be W's. For me, I think that we just played against our team C, just played against Algeria, and we took them to the cleaners. For me, I think that if the main team play against them, it should be like 6-7-0. At a go. And also too, I saw Tunisia play. I saw Tunisia against Senegal in the last WAFCON. They took Senegal, they gave Senegal a lot of problems. But I think that we can actually undo Tunisia. Botswana, I saw Botswana play against Africa sometimes or so. And they have a very decent team. But I just think that they might be the closest to getting a good result. Maybe probably 2-0 or 3-0 against them. But the other ones will be like 5-0. That's my, especially against Algeria. That's me. I think that we should win this game. But my own worry about this tournament is this. CAF need to come out clear. Is this tournament the qualifiers for the World Cup in Brazil 2027? Because it's not as if they will play one tournament now. We'll go wait for another 3 years before they play another one. Is this tournament is it the qualifier for the World Cup in Brazil in 2027? If not, if this is a qualifier, that means that the first four teams will qualify directly for the World Cup in Brazil in
The
2027.
semi-finalists.
The semi-finalists, yes, the semi-final qualify for the World Cup in Brazil. And secondly, because if can CAF organize another one in 2026, I'm not sure. So I think CAF need to come and tell us now, because it's going to be unfair for teams like Cameroon that fail to qualify for this AFCON. They wouldn't know. At least a qualifier. Maybe if they know that it's a qualifier, they would have tried and do something different. So I just think that we should also have that at the back of our mind that this CAF might not be reliable. We need to at least qualify for the semi-finals of this WAFCON. But
That's
I have my prediction. I will not say it.
No, don't worry. We'll get into predictions when it gets closer to the tournament. We still have
Yeah.
time. We'll break down each of the groups. We'll
Uh-huh.
preview the whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, when I look at the group, without getting carried away, I know that we too have our own issues that we still have to kind of resolve.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this should be a straightforward group for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. At the last WAFCON, we faced Botswana. We beat them 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
We are only supposed to have improved since then. So I guess I know Botswana too are trying, but there is no reason why we shouldn't still be able to beat a team like that. Algeria, like you mentioned, we had a group of strangers essentially, come together and beat Algeria twice. So
Mm-hmm.
that's not a team that we really should be expecting to pose a threat to us. And then Tunisia, yeah, give them some credit, but they're also not a team that we typically worry too much about. You can
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, maybe they haven't had too much luck at the WAFCON in the past because of the kind of groups that they've been in. I know that the
Mm-hmm.
last WAFCON, they were in the same group with Cameroon and Zambia. They lost two games in the group. Then in the knockout rounds, they faced South Africa, then they faced Senegal. So it's not always the easiest of opponents for them, but
Mm-hmm.
Tunisia is not a team that we typically would be saying we worry about. So as of right now, looking at it, how many months? 9 months or thereabouts before the tournament. I want to say that the Super Falcons will win this group. But yes, when we get closer to the dates, we will deep dive into this WAFCON tournament. We'll talk about the groups, talk about the different countries better, and we'll preview the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, okay. And yeah, like Smith like said, if it's supposed to be qualifiers, let them just let us know now so that everybody knows what they are playing for.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they wouldn't really be able to do anything about those that did not qualify already.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it is what it is. Life is not always fair.
Mm.
But yeah, okay. Final topic of the night. Final topic of the night, because we are only a few days away from when this is going to be taking place. In case you missed it, the Super Falcons of Nigeria are going to be facing France in an international friendly later this month on the 30th of November, and the squad was announced. 20 players have been called up by interim head coach Justin Madigu. Let's take a look at the squad for this game. We have goalkeepers Chiamaka Nadozie. Of course, Chiamaka Nadozie is called up. She's the first name on the team sheets probably these days. Player for Paris FC Feminine in France. We have Andeline Ingbechi for Rivers Angels. We have Rachel Unachuku of Nasarawa Amazons. In defense, we have Osinacho Hale of Pachuca in Mexico, Michelle Alozie of Houston Dash, Ashley Plumter of Etihad Ladies, Rafiat Noor of London City Lionesses, Siratu Isa of Nasarawa Amazons, and Tosin Dmei of Galatasaray. Midfielders, we have Jennifer Echegini of PSG, Tony Payne of Everton, Josephine Matthias of Nasarawa Amazons, Christy Uchebe of SL Benfica, Shukurat Oladipo of FC Robo Queens, Ado Yina of Nasarawa Amazons, and then forwards we have Blessing Unko of Pyramids SC, Gift Monday of Tenerife, Ifoma Onumonu of Montpellier, Rinsola Babajide of Tenerife, and then Messi Omoko of Bielsa Queens. I don't know if we want to look at the French squad, but the French squad is quite a strong team. They have goalkeepers from Montpellier, Juventus, Guinam. They have defenders like Wendy Renard of Lyon, Samura of PSG, Sombat of Lyon, midfielders Sandy Baltimore of Chelsea, Oriane Jean Francois of Chelsea. They have Toletti of Real Madrid. And then their forwards, they have good players like Kadidiatu Diani of Lyon, Katoto of PSG, Lesoma of Lyon. So it should be an interesting matchup between two good sides. But this should also be a good test for the Super Falcons. Smith Layi, I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts on this squad? 20 players to represent Nigeria against France.
Good. I won't say overall. We know there's no perfect list anywhere, but you can just say it's like she was not a bad squad. At least I thought they're going to use the same players that played against Algeria in this friendly game, but now they're bringing back some of the players that actually was played under under coach Randy Wardrum. So that is actually what the very good news. Looking at the goalkeeper, I saw that. The goalkeeper for Nasarawa Amazon actually what made the list. I'm just trying like bring a name out. So she actually what made the list. That is Rachel Unachuku. I was not really impressed. What she did against Algeria. The way she spilled that ball. Under no pressure and everything. I don't know how she actually got that. But something that is I know with this team is that majority of the players, about 3 or 4 players from Nasarawa Amazon actually what made this team. So, and they're not currently the best team in the league. So, and also Angela Umbechi, I know that she was in under 20 before. I think she was in under 20 under coach Dan Juma. And if my memory serves me right, I think she was the third choice in under 20. She was the third choice there. So I don't know how she actually would got that invitation ahead of the guys, out of the ladies, like Feto Milano, you know, doing extremely well for Nigeria Tales. So not a bad list, but I don't know why Chukwu Atadakpo is listed, Oladipo listed as a different as a midfielder. With my knowledge, I think that she used to be a defender. For the under 20, she was partner to Comfort Flonjo in the under 20 World Cup as a center defense. So maybe she can play midfield. That's why she's been listed that way. But for me, based on the quality I saw her playing that defense, I don't think she can play midfield because she's not really composed on the ball and she's not really tidy with her tackles. So, well, there's one name here, uh, Blessing Unko. I don't know. As in, I just want to try and check exactly where they actually was. They got up from. Messi Omoko from Baisa. Baisa actually was is a very very good, very very good player. So I just hope that she can actually show herself in the Super Falcons camp. So omissions are Uchina Kanu not here. And Ushina Kanu actually was not here. Ajibade Rashida Sajari no actually was. She didn't make the team. Maybe probably she was actually injured. I didn't see her play for Atletico Madrid too last weekend. So for me, not a bad team, but let's see how this team actually would perform. Against this very good team, the very good French team.
All right, all right. Well said, well said. My thoughts. So I'll say first thing that hits you is that some of the more notable players have returned after the last time that we had a host of new invitees, especially home-based players into the national team. There was no way they were going to go with the same squad for a match like this against France. They were just going to get slapped. So of course we had to see some of these players come back into the team. But nevertheless, there are still 7 home-based players that made this list of 20.
Hmm.
So still, when you look at percentage wise, that's 35% of the squad is based at home, which I think is where they ultimately want to land with this refreshment that they are doing of the Super Falcons. Why 20? Why not 23? Why not 25? I don't know exactly for this one. I heard that they were not able to invite some of the Edo Queens players because of logistics and things like
Mhm.
that. Of course, certain other players are injured, missed out, etc. But if truly we're building depth, then you would believe that at least 23 players, which is relatively normal, would have been called up. But
Yeah.
let's not harp too much about that. There are still 7 home-based players in this 20-player squad. Amongst the goalkeepers, we have Nasara Amazon's goalkeeper, Rachel Onachuku. This is, I believe, her second call-up after she was part of the previous squad. Like Smith Layi said, wasn't too impressive against Algeria, but I guess she gets to keep her place. And then the second goalkeeper from the league that gets called up this time is Andeline Ingbechi from Rivers Angels. I don't know too much about her, so I'm going to reserve my judgment. Let's see if she even gets to play. If she does get to play, let's see what she can do. We only have hey, see my
Sorry,
Yoruba
sorry,
information.
so I just want to confirm what I said earlier. She was part of the under 20 and she was the third choice goalkeeper
Mm,
under 20. So she was Omenano was the first choice and Bakari was the second choice. So
mm,
and then Umbechi was the third choice. In fact, she was the first choice before. She went from being first choice to third choice.
mm.
And as she got the call up now. Hmm.
Mm. But yeah, like I was saying, so that's that on the goalkeepers. Looking at the defenders, of course, we have players like Alozie returning to the squad. Ashley Plumter back in the squad after a long absence. Of course, we're happy to see that. We have Rofia Timura getting back into the Super Falcons after featuring at the under 20 Women's World Cup. We have Sikiratu Issa, second consecutive call up after featuring against Algeria. She started that first game against Algeria, and I guess the coach maybe was impressed with her performance. So she's back. And then Tosin Dimeni, of course, retains her place in the team. So just pointing out that players like Chidima Okeke are missing from this squad. Okeke was called up in the last one, but she's missing from this squad. Nicole Payne misses out, and then, of course, Osinachi Ohale is back. Nicole Payne, who just finished her season with Portland Thorns. I don't know why. Maybe he just didn't want to call her up. I don't know why exactly. But she misses out from this one. In midfield, Of course, we see the return of PSG, PSG's Jennifer Echegini. We have Tony Payne in the squad as well. We have enforcer Christy Uchebe getting called up, after just recovering from an injury. We have home-based players like Josephine Matthias of Nassau Amazons in the squad. I know that Christy Uchebe has been hyping up this Josephine Matthias. She really likes her. So I'm happy that she's there. Let's see how she performs. Shukra Toladikbo, I believe she's been called up to Super Falcons before as a defender.
Yeah.
So not too sure why she's called up as a midfielder now. I don't really see the quality that she has that will allow her play in that midfield. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. I still think we maybe are missing certain bodies in midfield. And then of course we have Ado Yina of Nassau Amazons also there. I don't know why exactly Ado Yina is getting called up here. Watched that under 20 World Cup. I think she's a good player. But, I think she's a good player. I look at her as like a baby Christy Chibe. But do I think she's there yet to be rubbing shoulders with the likes of these French players that she's going to face? No. Does it mean that she cannot hold her own? No. I'm not writing anybody out, but let's see what happens. The only thing that I was wondering was what happened to the likes of Onyenezide, who he called up for the last squad. Why didn't he call her up again? And then, of course, what happened to Deborah Abiodun? He's missing from this team. You know, maybe school commitment. I don't know exactly what it is. And then, of course, Halimatu Ayinde is also still missing from this squad. Um, but overall, decent midfielders. And then forwards, we have, like Smithai pointed out, Blessing Unkor of Pyramids SC making the team. This is a name that I personally was very, very surprised to see. Not somebody that I've heard too much about. As much as I follow these players, you can imagine I've not heard much about her. I've gone to try to watch a few of her highlights here and there, but watching highlights is always tough sometimes, especially when you're watching highlights from leagues that are not that well covered. It's hard to get all the information like that. But she's there. We'll see if she gets to play. We'll see what she can offer to the team. Potential option for the future. Give Monday remains in team after essentially leading the line in the last squad against Algeria. Risala Babajide, her teammate, has also been recalled to the squad. They've both been in good form recently, so I'm not surprised to see them there. I think Ifoma Onumonu, well-deserved place in the squad. People have been criticizing her in the past. They used to say it's because Randy Waldrum loved her. Even I used to joke that she was Randy Waldrum's first daughter. But Waldrum is not the coach anymore. But Onumonu is still in the Super Falcons. So I hope you guys can cut her some slack and see that it's because people think she's a good player. She's been informed for Montpellier recently. So far this season, she has, I believe, 5 goals and 1 assist in her last 4 matches. So she's been in good form. She's playing in France. These are players that she plays against every week. So hopefully she's able to take that and help Nigeria. But shout out to Ifeoma Monument, and shout out to all her haters as well. Shout out to all her haters as well. But yeah, it's not wardrobe. She's still in the team. And then yeah, Messi Omokwo from Bielsa Queens, her second call up there as well. Obviously, you will notice that Rashida Ajibade is missing. Unfortunately, she suffered an injury, so she's going to be out for a couple weeks and can't make the squad. Oshwala is also missing from the squad. Justin Madugu said it's because of her immigration. She's trying to renew her documents in the US, so she can't travel right now. Uche Nakanu is also missing. I know that Uche Nakanu had a season-ending surgery some months back, so maybe she's not back to full fitness. I'm not too sure there. But yeah, she's missing. Esther Okoronkwo, who I saw posted a video, she was already in Lagos. Surprisingly, she's missing from this one. I don't know what the reason can be. Okoronkwo, we know that she's a regular player in the squad and she's a good player that contributes. That one surprised me a little bit. Of course, Chinwendu Ihezuo is also missing from this one. Some people will be happy because they did not like her performance at the Olympics. But of course, she's still been scoring goals for Pachuca in Mexico this season. So if she got called up, it won't have surprised me at all. And then we have McLean's Chinon Yerem also missing out from this squad, despite getting off to a good start with Al Shabab in the Saudi Pro League. So there you have it. That's the squad. Ultimately, I think it's a decent squad. Like I said, I want to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt and see how they are doing this, their refresher, and how they want to do this, their mix of home based and foreign based, etc. When all these players like Ajibade Oshuala, etc. are back, I want to see how they integrate them back into the team. Players like Okoronkwo, I want to see what kind of involvement they might get in the future. The home based players that were called up, the ones that do get to play in the game, let's even see how they can mistakenly even stack up against a top player for France. Let's see if they can hold their own. Let's see if anybody is going to look like a star. Let's see if anybody is going to look good. But most importantly, let's not get beat badly by France. Let's not get beat badly by France. People have been criticizing results against big teams under the previous head coach. So let's see how this new head coach can do in his first test against a big team, albeit in a friendly match. So yes, looking forward to that one. The game is on November 30th. I believe it is at, is it 9:10 p.m. Nigerian time?
Nine
Um,
thirty.
I thought it was 9:10.
Okay.
Well, I'll confirm the time exactly, but I think 9:10, Sean. I think 9:10 p.m. Nigerian time, around that time. But yeah, on November 30th. We'll of course talk about the game after as well. And I might do a short video to talk about it before as well. So stay tuned to channel for that one. Okay. Yeah, Daniel says too many players missing. Um, They saying Abiodun is not on the list. Kano as well. Let me see what people are saying in the comments. Issa was impressive. You can watch Unko's highlights. Not a bad forward. John Jones says Suliat Abdin should have been called up. John Jones says no Edna Imade. Um, and yeah, lots of comments. We like about the Super Eagles quickly. There's a comment here. Somebody said we should go for Rude Van Nistelrooy. What do you think about that? Is that possible?
You won't set the glass house joint to pay him. For me, I just think that there's nothing stopping Nigeria from getting him, someone like that. But it's just that I don't think he fits to the town of the NFF. That is me. I think the NFF have the type of coach they're looking for, and I don't think I think the policies of the NFF will consume with Van Nistelrooy. I don't think he's going to be fit for the job.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that one. The
Well,
first
I want to
one
ask
will
you a
be
question about that this guy, this girl, Ifeoma Anumono. Do you think that they called her because she plays in France? That he's going to travel. Just you just drive down or take.
yeah, maybe not. It's hard to say. I cannot say exactly. Do
Mhm.
I think it's easy for her to get to camp? Yes. Do I
Yes,
also think that she deserves the call up? Yes.
yes.
So it's hard for me to say because I've been watching, her performances at Montpellier, and she's been doing decent. She took a few games to get off the mark. Once she
Hmm.
started scoring, she started doing well. Scored in consecutive matches, 5 goals in the last 4 games. I think she
Hmm.
deserves it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I can't speak to that exactly. But yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to the Super Falcons. And of course, we'll be rooting for you girls as you take on the French women. France, they're already in camp. Oh.
Hmm.
They've been in camp for a few days now. Oh. They are playing Nigeria and they are playing Spain in this window. So it's an interesting window for them. They're already in camp. So hopefully we'll soon see our own players in camp, training hard. We have just one friendly in this window, so it's a bit different for us. But yeah, let's see how that one plays out. And of course, this is supposed to be a preparatory game, quote unquote, ahead of the WAFCON next summer. We should still have one or two more matches at least before then.
Hmm.
And then for the French team, I guess kind of preparatory for their own
Europe.
Euros in the summer next
Hmm.
year as well. Okay, Smith, any final thoughts on that one?
Just kind of like a mismatch, when preparing for Euros, they're playing Nigeria, and we are preparing for AFCON, so we are playing them. It's just it's just funny. But good game nevertheless. England played against South Africa last window, and it was a very good game. So I, I just hope that we will not get embarrassed. See, we don't pass the era of 7-0. We don't pass the era of like all
No,
those
no, seven is not possible.
uh,
Seven is not possible. That's too much.
respectable scoreline 1-0. If you're gonna lose 1-0, but I just think that when I see someone like Christy Ushebe, I know that they can actually all their own against the best, and let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. But do you think that they will keep the manager if he gets a good result, or do you think they're going to look for a new coach?
Mm, is it? I think if he does get a good result, I think they'll keep him. I think even though they've named him as interim, I personally believe that it will be their preference to keep him as the coach.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to use these friendlies to fill him out and see how he can perform. The two wins against Australia, rather against Algeria, a win is always nice, but let's be honest,
It wasn't good though.
we can't use that one to judge and say, oh, he beat Algeria, so give him the job. So a game like this against France. Now, if he loses, doesn't mean he shouldn't get the job. No,
Mm-hmm.
but the way the team sets up, the way the team plays, the way the team competes, then we'll have a better, assessment. People always used to criticize Wardrum. Oh, why are we defending against these big teams? Oh, why can't we score against these big teams? Blah blah blah. Now is the different guy that people give him credit for attacking and scoring goals against Cape Verde, against Ethiopia. So now let's see if that same guy can go and attack and score goals against France. And if he does it, we have to give him his credits. But
Mm-hmm.
if not, and then he gets beaten badly, or the team looks like a shadow of themselves, or the team just doesn't look like they can compete against a team like France, then it would be a bad look for us because it would be a sign that we might be making or taking steps backward rather than forward. Um,
Yes.
let's see what happens, man. I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Don't rule anything out until we see the outcome.
Yes. Yes. For me too. Let's just see. We will lose 3-1. Okay. Somebody's actually predicting already. In the comment section.
Mm. Daniel says we will lose 3-1. What did the rest of you guys think? Let us know very quickly. What do you think? France versus Nigeria, international friendly on the 30th of November. What do you guys think the score of that game is going to be? Let me know in the comments very, very quickly.
Yeah. So
Let me know in the comments. What do you think the final score of that one is going to be?
for me, I think a 2-0 victory for France. I think a respectable 2-0 victory for France. I just
Hmm.
think that they can actually want to win a game.
Hmm.
I think they can actually win that game.
I see John Jones says 2-1 to France. D. Ben Ike says 2-0 to France. Step Monique says 3-0 to France. Um, most people are predicting for France. So
Mm. What are you predicting then?
on paper, they are the stronger team. I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to say yet. I'm not going to say yet.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. Check out, follow our page. You'll see I'll post it before the game. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to. I'm not going to give my prediction today. Tom Tony says 3-1 Nigeria. Okay, so we have a Nigeria win in the predictions. Wochi says 1-0. I'm assuming France because they are the home team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions for us, please send them in now. Any questions, anything that you want us to talk about, send them in now. Send them in now. If you want to call in and just ask questions as well or give your 2 cents, the link has been posted. Please call in now. Um, if not, we will wrap it up for tonight. We'll wrap it up for tonight. And a PSA very quickly. If there's anybody out there that loves Nigerian football, loves Nigerian football players, loves the national teams, would love to work with Eagle Striker on creating social media content, either creating content for social media, being an on-screen personality, please send a DM to us on any of our social media. We are looking for more people to join the team. We really, really want to diversify and expand the content, and we need multiple heads. So please, if you're interested in something like that, send a DM. Hopefully, you've done some work in the past. If you haven't, hopefully, you're really willing to show that you can do the work. But it could be a fun time, and you get to work with me, so that's a plus. But yeah, Steve Onoli says 1-0 to Nigeria. Steve Onoli says 1-0 to Nigeria. Smith Lai, do you want to give them your preferred 11 for that match?
Okay, for me, I think shout out to Awujola Sadiq. He joined the live stream. Fantastic personality. Keep doing what you are doing. So I just want to give the lineup. I think it's going to be our number one. Chamaka Naduze is going to be in goal. I think the back line will be the back line I played at the last World Cup. I think Jalozie has a plunder if she honors the invitation, and also Osna Johali and Tosin Dibayin. So I think Christy Shebe. I don't know how Madugu will actually we line up. Maybe he's gonna follow the round the world drum, it's line up, or he's gonna formation, or he's gonna look for something different. But the way I see Nigerian coaches, it's like it's 4-3-3 or 4-2. So maybe probably gonna be Christy Shebe and Jennifer Shebe in the middle, and flanked by I don't even know who can actually be the wing. I know that Matthias did well during the two friends against uh, against Algeria. Could he get the starting lineup? Was he the starters? Can he be starter in this game? I'm not really sure. But I think that up front he's gonna go with Ufoma Onumonu, and probably let me just get that one
Monday?
out. Uh, how can you film out? I think Monday. I think Monday gives you a shot also be there. So the last time that Trishana played for Nigeria, used to play her on the wings. I don't know. Maybe she's going to stay on the wings too this time around. So if she's good for a 4-3-3, I think it's going to be Misola Monday and actually what Ifoma up front.
Hmm,
I think in the midfield, maybe probably Tony Pay, Ushebe, and Jennifer Isheye.
hmm.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Hopefully that one goes well for the Super Falcons. Okay, to wrap up today, Smidlai, let's talk about the CAF Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we were saying, oh, what is happening with the women? Will CAF make the announcement? And they have over this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Several awards, several Nigerian players have been nominated. Let's run through them very quickly. So, Club of the Year, we have our very own Edo Queens nominated for Club of the Year,
Mm-hmm.
alongside several clubs, TP Mazembe, FC Massa, Medina, Mamelodi, Sundowns, CBE, ASFA, University of the Western Cape. Smith Lai, do you think Edo Queens can win this one?
They can't win it. They can't win it. They are not the best team in Africa. They cannot actually want to win it. So for me, I think TP Mazembe is the best team in Africa. And the way they actually went about their business, if you watch the Asfa TP Mazembe game in the group stage that the Asfa won, it was like a robbery. I knew that if Mazembe come back to play against Asfa, I think I know that they're gonna win. So I don't think it's not the best team in maybe Fair Player Award, but not the best team in Africa. They will not win it. Yeah, muted though.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, congrats to them on the nomination. I think they are not going to win it. I think objectively they were not the best team,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a good one for them. Good showing in the Women's Champions League. Good showing
Mm-hmm.
in the league as well. So yeah, congrats to Edo Queens on that one. Interclub Player of the Year. We had two Nigerian players nominated. We had Essien and Monle Oyono of
Mm-hmm.
Edo Queens. Of course, another one that is a nod from their Women's Champions League
Mm-hmm.
campaign. But yeah, do you think either of these Super Falcons, because they were in the last team, if I'm not mistaken. Do you think either of these players can win the award?
I think SN closer to win the award, but I think it's go with that Clayton Mata also. That is it matter. That's Mazembe number 8. That's gonna achieve what is it matter also. That's gonna achieve what she's gonna win the award. I don't know. Maybe they are going to qualify for this WAFCON. Ah, very good player. Very good player. Like that one can play in the men's league. Very good player. The energy level is so high, the pace. So SN did well, during the group stage. Fantastic player. But for me, I think she will not win it. For Monday, I don't know why she was nominated. She was not impressive. She was horrible. She was not impressive at the time. I don't want to say horrible. She was not impressive. I don't know how she got that invitation, she got that nomination. But she will know that that one should be not enough achievement. She go on her Instagram page and just put them there, say nominee for this thing. At least now you don't have to achieve. We think she will win it. She was not even part of the best 4 goalkeepers for me in that this. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Young Player of the Year, two um, Falconet players nominated for this one: Chiamaka Okuchukwu and Floris Sebastian. Of course, Chiamaka Okuchukwu was one of the best, if not the best, players for Nigeria at the Under 20 Women's World Cup, and then Floris Sebastian, of course, another big name. Do you think either of these players has a chance of winning the award, Smith Lai?
I think Okojukwu will win the award. I think if you look at the nominees that she was nominated there, you will realize that she's someone that did well for Nigeria, if not only for Nigeria. I don't know, I don't know, maybe did they nominate Eto of Cameroon?
Eto of Cameroon. No, it's Naomi Eto and
Yeah,
Katibia. Yes.
okay, now okay, I don't know. Okay, we not win it. It's Naomi Eto that will win that award. Now that girl is, just like her namesake. She's a goal machine. Very goal machine. A clinical player, very good player, all rounder, goal machine. I think it's going now Mieto, not Shamaki, not Okuchukwu.
Mm. 3 goals at the World Cup for Eto, so I mean, not a bad return.
Yeah,
Whereas I think Okuchukwu had 2 goals and 1 assist.
yes.
Uh, but yeah, shout out to them for getting nominated as well. It's an impressive feat for them.
Mm-hmm,
National Team of the Year. So we have the Super Falcons, the Falconets, and the Flamingos all nominated for this one.
mm-hmm,
Falcons, of course, Olympic showing, good year for them. Under 17, we saw them do well as well at the under 17 World Cup, under 20 as well.
mm-hmm.
Do you think either of our 3 national teams can win this one?
The funniest thing is that it's like one of the worst of the bunch because, if you look at it, Super Falcons did not qualify from the group stage. 3 games, 3 losses, 1 goal scored. And if you look at the Falcons too, after maybe probably topping the group, I don't know. No, they didn't top the group. They came second behind Germany, and they actually were crashed out in the second round to Japan. And also too, we also lost in the second round again to USA. In these
Under 17.
last 17. Yes. So for me, if you look at that under 17 too, you will realize that no African team progress to the next stage. It's only only the Flamingos, and also at 20, I think Cameroon and Nigeria qualified. Both of them crashed out in the second round. So for me, can any of our team win it? I think one of the team can win it, but we don't. There's no other team in Africa that can actually just I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Zambia. Zambia get any points in the Olympics? I don't think.
Zambia at the Olympics. No, they didn't do anything. They were
eh,
everyone flogging them.
Yeah. So for me, if they're gonna give anybody, I think they should just give the Flamingos.
Oh, you said they should give the Flamingos.
Yes, our
Hmm.
Nigerian Flamingos. Yes, because
Interesting.
Falcons
Interesting.
don't do anything now.
What of South Africa?
South Africa is not doing anything. They didn't qualify for the Olympics. They didn't qualify. I can even give South Africa. They should not even be nominated. What are they doing there? What are they doing there? They didn't qualify. They didn't do anything. And what are they even doing there?
Hmm.
This nomination self, man. I don't know what they do. What are they even doing there? They're not meant to be there at all. Them and Morocco, not meant to be there at all.
Morocco definitely, because it's just they didn't do anything.
They
They
didn't
didn't
anything.
qualify for the Olympics. They were not winning games.
They
Not
won't win
nothing
again.
to talk about
Nothing to talk about, and they
with
will
Morocco.
nominate them again. No, no,
Okay,
I
okay.
yeah.
Let's see for that one. Okay, goalkeeper of the year. Shout out to our very own Chiamaka Kanadozie as well as Monle Onyono, nominated for this award. I think this one we don't even have to ask the question. We know the owner of this award.
I think it's Chiamaka and Dozie, honestly.
Without a doubt. If care is not taken, she can win this award every year between now and when she retire.
Yeah, 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 yeah. She's
If care is not taken.
for me. I think she's a very, very. She's going to win the game, and she's going to be contesting very soon for the Player of the Year.
Mm,
In that category.
yeah. Shout out to Chiamaka, man, fantastic player, and congrats to Monle as well. For the coach of the year, so we have Bankole Olowo Kere, we have Chris Danjuma, and we have Moses Aduku. Three Nigerian coaches nominated. Do you think either of them has the chance of winning this award, Smith?
I mean, if you want the best of that three, it's not the best in Africa. That's what I'll just say. The best of the three is Aduku of what's it called? Of Eloquence. At least that one can change tactics. In the game. The other one cannot change tactics in the game. Now only if they don't what they know at the start is what they're gonna finish with. I'm talking about Danjuma and Oluwokere. So I think Adu can still change game. So he's still making mistake, but at least that one can change tactics. So for me, I don't think any of them will win it. I think the Mozambique, the Mozambique, what's it called?
Coach.
Coach is a very, very good coach.
Mm,
And I think she might probably actually was winning. She's from Morocco.
mm.
Mm.
All right, all right. But yeah, shout out to them. Congrats on the nominations over there. And then finally, the big one, Player of the Year,
Mm-hmm.
Women's Player of the Year. We had two Nigerian players nominated:
Mm-hmm.
goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie and forward slash captain Rashidat Ajibade.
Mm-hmm.
Other nominees in this category were Sandrine Niyonkuru. We had Tabitha Chawinga. We have Temwa Chawinga. We have Sana Msudi. We have Jermaine Seposemwe. We have Tembi Katlana, Barbara Banda, and Rachel Kundananji. Tough competition here for our Super Falcons players. But Smith, like, do you think either Chiamaka or Rashidat has a chance this year? What do you say?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think this is the year. I was praying for Rashida to win this award. Thought that she's going to have very good Olympics, but the way it turned out, it wasn't good Olympics, for Nigeria in general. So I think that the owner of the award is Barbara Randa. I think it's time for her to actually win it. And, she's undoubtedly the best player in Africa. She delivers for club side and for national team. So for me, and also, there's also Richard Kudnagi too there, but I think Badra is just an and shoulders above all the nominees now.
Mm. And I have to say, I hate to agree with you on this one, but Baba Banda has been absolutely amazing. She has had a fantastic year for both club and country, scoring goals, like it's nothing. Um, Fantastic year. And if it wasn't even Banda, we have the Chawinga sisters, Tabitha and Temwa, have both been lighting it up. Temwa just had an amazing season for KC Current in the NWSL. It's really tough, man. I've always believed that this is an award that Jibade would win someday. So hopefully she can keep on performing at the level and even getting higher and improving. But this particular year, we had these other players, man, who were just firing on all cylinders. Between Banda and Tucha wingers, I think maybe Ajibade can sneak in. Unadozie can sneak in as well. I'll put them above Kundanaji, above South Africans, and above the Moroccan. But yeah, we have to give them credit for being nominated. I think this is Ajibade's is this second nomination, I think it is. So at least when you find yourself being rated amongst the best year after year, it's a sign that you are doing something right. And hopefully more to come, and hopefully she gets to win it, or they both get to win it in the future. But yeah, shout out to our Super Falcons players. Okay, there we have it, guys. There we have it. We have covered all of our topics for today's episode. A nice conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed discussing and bringing it to you. If there's anything that you want us to discuss on next week's episode, please make sure you engage with us in the comments. Talk to us on social media. Don't leave it for the very last minutes. If you have any questions I want us to answer, same thing, comment on our social media page, um, either at Eagle Striker NG or at Niger FC Podcast, and we'll respond to you. You can also comment on YouTube, of course, we'll respond to um, most of our YouTube comments, as many as possible. Of course, it's not possible to respond to every single one, but we'll respond to as many as possible. We love engaging with you guys. Um, Looking forward to the rest of the week. Smith, do you want to say anything before I just look forward quickly?
No, no, I'm actually what fine. Just just keep actually what keep on. I like the way I saw that last video get shared on one platform. So guys, keep on sharing those things, and we actually would appreciate you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and looking forward to the rest of the week. Of course, the UEFA Champions League. Chukwueze had a good performance for Milan today. Olatunji was in action as Sparta Praha were thrashed by Atletico de Madrid. Nathan Teller was a sub for Bayer Leverkusen in their win. We have more action coming up over the course of this week in the European competitions as well. Olayinka should be in action tomorrow against Stuttgart, Celtic Club Brugge, AS Monaco against Benfica, and then Thursday is the Europa League and the Conference League. Lazio in action, Galatasaray in action. You want to watch some of our star players. Slavia Prague against Fenerbahce, so two Nigerian players going head to head there. And Real Sociedad against Ajax, Nigerian players go head to head there as well. And then, of course, the weekend action means that return to league football for the top leagues in the world. And of course, not just the top leagues, most of the leagues in the world. Let me see if there's any interesting games that I can find very quickly ahead of the weekend for you guys to look forward to. Union Berlin against Leverkusen, Brentford against Leicester, Forest against Ipswich, all coming up this weekend. So it should be an exciting one. And then on December the 2nd, I believe, on December the 2nd, I believe my interview with Emmanuel Lume will be published on our YouTube channel on December the 2nd. Interesting one, interesting guy with a good story. And then more interviews to come over the course of the year, one in December, and then, of course, going into 2025 as well. Lots of content to come, and then lots of football to come as well. Let me just go to the comments before we exit. John Jones says Onyeka suspended. Yeah, because he got that red in the last game. Olu says Banda for sure, but Ajibade should make top three because of her Olympic qualifiers and club performances. Um, Real K says all hail Nnadozie, the only Amaka way no disappoints. John Jones says NFF should go for the TP Mazembe coach for the Super Falcons.
Yeah, it will
Hybrid
do a good
10
job.
says I think Smith Layi should be a scout. He is better utilized that way. Um. Okay. Let me see. Hybrid 10 says, I hope Oshawa never gets nominated unless she does something for Super Falcons. She's a great club player, but an awful national team player. This is a very reactionary comment. I don't know how old you are, Hybrid 10, but Oshola did not win 6 Women's Player of the Year awards by not being good for the Super Falcons. When people say things like this, we turn on people too quick, man. Oshoala has been a great servant for Nigeria. She has turned up for Nigeria at various age grades over the years. Whether you think she's at her best or not right now does not mean that you should insult her the way you're insulting her in this comment. She still scored for us at the World Cup. So I don't know. When you say she's awful for Nigeria, no, she's not, man. No, she's not. And whether or not, she's still one of the best players that we have, whether you like it or not. That's a very reactionary comment, very disrespectful comment. You know, we need to be more respectful of people that actually serve the country, the way we turn on people and say things like that is, I don't know, very uncalled for in my own opinion. Um, but yeah, there you have it, guys. There you have it. It's been a very fun show talking to you guys. Watch out for the interviews. Watch out for the rest of the content on the channel. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in working with us as a content creator or an on-screen personality, please send a DM on our social media channels at Eagle Strata NG. Okay, Smilai, final word to our audience.
Yeah, very fantastic audience. I know that we have missed you, and now that we are coming back, we promise to actually will serve you the best. That is it. So just keep on sharing the video. We actually would like it. Keep the views coming. That's the most important thing.
Yes, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Much appreciated. We'll keep on bringing you the content. Please keep liking, keep sharing. If you're not subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can leave a super chat. You can support us by buying merchandise on eaglestrackershop.com. Thank you very much. Until next time, my name is AyoT. My co-host is
Smith Layi, thank you.